Okay. I don't have to press anything else. Okay. So anyway, we're here on Friday, and let's see. Yeah, just what I thought I'd do today is just go through the 30 movements and highlight the middle 11 through 20, but just kind of give an overview of the 30, okay? And the hand changes and the body changes. So I just figured we would go into that. And so just to start out, we're going to highlight movements 11 through 20. But let's start out with 1. 2 starts when you grip with the left hand, goes right foot and back, upwards, counterclockwise, with the 3, leftward, back, downward, counterclockwise, or boom. All right, step left. Now this is an important one, the grip, which takes a lot of people forever. You tend to hold this way. Grip is from the top. Okay, light, easy. Almost like getting the drop it. That's sloppy, but this is too tense. Right hip, right hand, left hand by shoulder width. Okay, and the body starts out with a full moon position. The time you're moving 5, you turn without twisting the knee. This is the half moon position. Like this, moving 5. Moving number 6, go quarter moon to no moon. Boom. Okay? Now no moon. The moon itself, and you can't see it in the sky. It's just hidden. Okay? For example, you see this paper pretty easily. But all of a sudden, when I turn it on its side, it becomes almost invisible. So, over half moon, quarter moon, no moon. So, we go back, and one, this is the full moon position. Either even, 2, 3, 4, boom. 5, left hand, left foot, natural step, not too long or too abbreviated, natural step. And you're forming a triangle. Point, foot, base, foot, body in half turn. 6, shifting the weight forward. You want the knee to cover the toe, so it goes a little too far, you're off balance. If you're sitting here, block. So shifting your weight and triangulating, which means one. Half moon, quarter moon, no more than fully extend your arms. Okay? There's a slight upward flinch. It's heart level in this number 5 to heart level out. If I go this way, it was impact because there isn't here. It would drive right back into my wrist. So this is right under the heart and tummy. Slight impact. Boom. And there is that closing motion. Okay? And the closing motion itself is not a tightening motion. The thumbs come, they rotate in opposite directions. Okay? So, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready position. Notice how that tip is covering my heart. I'm forming a triangle. And the body's included in that triangle. The shoulder is outside. And then 6. 7, cover your head and your face. Going back to the full moon position. And back to the half moon position. Tip doesn't wander. And 8 is for the 6. 9. Right hand up. Right foot, just for the form, goes even with the left hand drops. Left foot back, change sides, cover your head. This is cut or strike. The spear is a striking motion. For the stick or staff, it's a striking motion. For the spear, it's a cutting motion. Now, avoiding my arms, my body is full moon position. But through the hips. Just cut or strike is about head level. And raise, cover, no change of hands. Left foot up, right foot back to the left side. That's movement number. Both are extended. And the turning of the body is the hips in motion, but it also creates more length. In sports, they call that the span. My arms are not going to grow like plastic. But when I look at the body, there's more length in sports. And this on the pass, if I'm a defensive player, you tip the pass. So, sports reference. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, quick recap. Movements 1 through 10. Any questions or anything you might have noticed?
Just a body position question on move 7. You go from the you extend with move 6. You go to like no moon position, and then when you raise, you go to full moon, and then back down to quarter moon or half moon, and then
you go back down to the half.
Right. So you go to full moon on the raising, right, on the block. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
What was the last part? Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, there's a difference between this motion and this motion. This motion and this motion. That's a long-term study. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a profile. Middle 10 is movement 11 through 20. Okay. Now we're going to do this is movement number 10. Now, here we're going to form another 10 change movements 1 through 10, either thumbs are facing the same direction, up or away. For all the movements. But movement 11 through 20 give us the second change, which is thumbs face. The third change, which is thumbs face us. And the fourth change, now here thumbs are in the first change position for movements 1 to 10. But the body, it's moving number 17. Now we're going to go through them and change them. So the first one, they're the body changes. Full moon, half moon, quarter moon, 2 moon. And the 10 positions are all first change. Thumbs face away. Okay? In baseball terms, that first change is your fastball, your pitcher. Even though your fastball isn't very fast, you have to have it. You have to throw it. Okay? If all you do is try to pitch off another pitch, it doesn't work. Okay? Even though your best pitch is another pitch, you have a fastball. And so this is, for example, if we were in karate, sometimes you hit a wakiwara, right? And if we were to go like this, we would notice that that is stronger than the second change or the third change. And without that, there's no authority to what we go into in the fourth change. Okay? So movements 1 through 10, you have the body changes, full moon, half moon, quarter moon. In the first hand change. And now, the first thing we're going to do, I'll shoot to this angle from movement 11, left hand, let's go, grips more towards the top, thumbs face. Okay? This hand slides down. Then we rotate 180 degrees. Okay? I'll do it from this angle. And here you're covering your head in your face. And this is similar to the first half of movement 7, except 7 has thumbs face away, this is thumbs face each other. Left. 12 step is a thrust, but it's a thrust with the hands in this position. Okay? Now, this is 11. Go right hand goes down to the right hip. It's exactly like movement 6 and 8, except the hands different. Now, one of the changes in the body are the same after quarter moon. So, I'll do it from a couple of different angles. 11, 12. 11. Stepping forward with the left foot, 12. Now 13, we're going to raise up. Okay, now this is the movement number 10. The movement number 10 was done with the first change position, and the right hand is this. Left hand. Okay, the advantage. This is like your fastball in baseball. Okay, in football, it's your running game. But you want to pass the ball all the time, you predict it. Running game. Now, this thing, the advantage of it, it's lighter, or it's quicker. Boom. And this is like paradoxically a change of pace. Fastball appears to be fast. Same arm action, but it takes forever to get there in kind of floats. Okay. Okay. So 11, 12, 13. And again, we're discussing the body changes. 11, full moon. 12, half moon, quarter moon, no moon. 13, after the full moon position. Half moon, quarter moon, no moon. This is the tip is about. So now we've covered movements 11, 12, 13. We change number 2. Change number 1. Movements 1 through 10. Come space away or in the opening for myself. Movements 11, 12, 13. They face each other. Okay, now release the right hand, regrip. Okay. Going to leave a little space here. Okay. And thumbs now are facing me. 13 is a rear thrust. 14 thrust forward. 13, 14, change number 3. Those change. Movements 1 through 10, thumb space away. Movements 11, 12, 13, thumbs face each other. Movements 14, 15, thumbs face you or me. Okay. So recap. 11, 17, 12, 13. Now release the right hand and regrip, thumb faces you, both thumbs facing the direction. 14, 15. Okay. Cliff, any questions or anything you might have noticed with the recap?
No additional questions. I am picking up a few details, so that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, the point of it, you say the devil's in the details. The focus is broad, it's relaxed. They're at the same time, without losing that broad focus, there's an attention to detail. Okay, we're training both of those modalities. Okay. Okay. In sports, say basketball, you have an overview of the game. You know who you're playing, you know your assignments, and then within the flow of the game, depending on the situation, there's an attention to detail. That's what they call championship level. Okay? The attention to detail without losing the overview, balancing that and that. Challenging. Okay? So anyway. I'll do it from this angle. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've just done changes. 2, 3. Okay, we'll put the 4. Change number 2, that's 11. This is 12, still second change. 13, still second change. 14, 15, third change. Here and here. Now, We're gonna let go of the right hand and go back to the second change for a second. Let go, catch the end of it. That's back. We're going from third change, second change, to first change. I'm going to take a step forward. I'm going to turn. And this is movement number 9. It's a step turn. It's a pivot motion. That's movement number 16. So that's a complex move. 13, 14, 15. Right hand grips, go back to second chain. Open the left, it grips the bottom, back to first chain. Right foot steps, becomes a forward foot, rotates your hips. Pull the left foot back, it's a pivot move. And this is a repeat right from here of movement number. Okay? So that gets us to movement number 16. Okay. Any questions right now?
No, this is great going over it. That's all.
Yeah. Again, you want your focus to be broad. But within that broad focus, there's an attention to detail. And balancing the two. I have a very good overview of the situation, but I can't get situations within that. But I have a feel for that. Okay. I'm coachable, pick it up. Take time. Okay. Conversely, I'm really good in tight situations, but I'm limited to, I'm good in this situation in Boston and other. I don't have the overview. Okay, now, recap. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, now 16, step through 15. Now moving number 17. It's not so much a hand change, it's not the body changing. Okay. If I was to use the full moon, half moon, quarter moon, no moon, this is nightfall. The weight settles under. Yeah, let's say somebody grabs your wrist, you settle past the grip, blend with your energy. Movement 17. Okay? Or nightfall. Nightfall. Sun rise. Nightfall. Maybe it's been a scorching day. Nightfall. Or restful. Or the other analogy. Okay? I'm in an elevator, toughing and puffing. I am the elevator. Okay? Instead of trying to lift weights in the elevator, you are the elevator. There's a little bend in these, but not simply just dropping the weight. Okay? You know, a couple of the things that we've covered here. It's called dimensionality. Movement number 7. movement number 7. This is movement number 7, but that's movement number 7 at a finer level, dimensional, finer level. And movement 17, drop your right foot. You are the elevator. You're not pushing something down in the other. Okay, so finer state. Okay, a lot of Aikido, you may repeat the movements again and again and again, but there's individual development to it, perception. Okay, the sense of the overview, and your attention to detail kind of become one. It's flow, they have different quality to them. Okay, that's part of the training. Okay. Okay. So let's go back here. Second change. 11. 12, still second change. 13, still second change. Third change, 14. 15, still third change. 15 grips. 15 pitches. Step, turn, pivot. This is, again, after the step, turn, pivot. And this is the recap of movement number 9. Now, this is 17. Okay. Good. Now, right hand grips towards the top, thumb facing you, thumbs face each other. This is a rear thrust. You're here. If somebody's coming from the back. So this right here, paradoxically, that's a quicker change. You go back here, boom. So, okay. 17, movement 18, goes back to the second change. Thrust. This is movement 19, still second change. Rotate the hip. 20. Okay. So those are all from space, which makes them the second change. Okay. $18, slide, pivot, 19, rotate the hip, and 20. Okay. So, this is a little bit of a spear simulation. Okay. So, for example, here you have 18, 19. At 20, you don't want to put yourself, especially if it's sharp. Fingers will cut. You rotate the hip. This is now free, and also this is unwieldy. Rotate the hip, extend. And again, this is like music that's phrasing, da, da. This goes da, da. Bruce Lee did an extensive study of the heavy. Okay. The other, in fact, I think it was last night, Stephen Curry got the ball. Okay. That's the Warrior basket. There was a Warrior player there. He didn't even look. He just went bang. Bounce pass. The Warrior player caught it. Dunked. So it's kind of that same thing. Oh, boom. 2 points. Boom. Rotate the hip. Say from here, we're going back to the full moon position. Step back, it's kind of your half moon to full moon position. Boom. Okay, so that's the move. Okay. And switch to this device here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is back to second change position, 19, 20. Yeah. From 17, attacker from here, move somebody from the front, somebody in the rear with that angle. And again, dexterity in terms of the handling of the staff. Metaphorically, everything I do is spirit. Okay? This is, see what happens for the staff. That's a strike. And that's a striking motion. Okay? That's a piercing motion with the spirit. And that's a cutting motion. Because the tip is sharp. And there's a difference. Striking, cutting, striking, piercing. Okay? It also goes back to, for example, this is movement number 7. This movement number 7. This is 7. This is 7. And the boy, a basketball coach explained it to the great player Kevin Durant. When Durant was young, he says, "You can't see it, you can't do it. You see the motion. No, all I do is see this. Oh, yes, boom. Either freer, but boom, boom. Okay. And likewise, you go here, you see is dropping the weight, nightfall. Elevator down. Okay, so those perceptual shifts are very important. Okay, so we'll go back a little bit more over those second 10 moves. But Cliff, anything you might have noticed or?
Actually, I had some detail questions. So,
Sure.
so like the first is on 18 and 19. What is the target height for those strikes on 18 and 19?
What is
like what is the target height? How high are you like going for the chest or the?
Basically, I don't know that it was standardized. Now there are certain ones, like movement number 6. That's heart level.
Mm-hmm.
6 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Movement number 9. You're working with your own height. It's it's about level with your head. Okay. Movement number 12, heart level, 13, head level. Now, this is, well, this is base level. Base level that way. Not quite, head level, but maybe middle, mid-head. Okay.
Cool.
This goes down again, to head level. And this doesn't drop. Nightfall. elevator. The image takes you to a final state. If all you do is just push down, it's, I don't know, I mean, you get the gross movement. But somehow you're caught up in the detail and you're probably misinterpreting the situation around the detail. So, does that help at all? Or, I mean,
yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I had one more question
See,
about 17.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Which is, and this may be a little bit too in the weeds, but martially, what is happening when you do that elevator down thing? Like, are you sort of blocking an opponent, or what?
It's change number 4. In Aikido, you take somebody's forearm, and that's Yonkyo.
Okay.
Do that, but the weight settles on you. Okay, that's why, you know, the nightfall image. Nightfall. If you kind of work popular culture archetypes, Batman usually doesn't go out in the day. He waits for night. Okay. Another popular culture archetype is Zorro. The full moon may be bright, but he's dressed in black. He comes out of the night. And so, you know, metaphorically speaking, you know, for example, let's just say we're doing Nikyo, which is nightfall. We're doing Sankyo, nightfall. It's a perpetual shift. Your weight settles deeper. You're going to meditate. Everything is just too confused, and I'm too conflicted about everything. Nightfall. Calm, deeper, cooler. And that nightfall extends under. Okay, so I always like in popular culture the Bat Cave. Zorro, I'm watching some of the old Disney ones. He has kind of his own subterranean cave. So a lot of times a popular culture archetype. Both Zorro and Batman, they do their work principally. That doesn't mean just as Zorro, he fights during daylight sometimes. Easy. Mm. 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 Oh, I just did the number 7 movement in the second change. First change, boom. Second change, boom. Third change, boom. Well, all 3 of them have that. Okay? Easy, relaxed, deeper. If you're afraid of the dark, that's what Batman wants, right? That was no superpowers, but he's a giant bat. Whoa. And that puts something psychological in, you know, in terms of the criminals that he comes out at night to deal with, right? And we've been kind of doing the Inage, where you step and turn, not just step behind, but that you turn. You could disappear like that. And then when they look for you, the clothesline. If you just sort of put this here and try to clothesline somebody that way, it's like boom. So you see, not that motion. that much. Okay, so those are perceptual shifts. For me, I like the popular cultural archetypes. Well, Sensei had his, by the way. He was told from when he was a young age he was the reincarnation of Susano, the storm, Thor, god of storm, thunder. Okay? And he did a lot of work with the imagery of the Kojiku. And if you read the Kojiku, it's like a fairy tale or a comic book. But for him, right, and key element for me, okay, because I've been doing Aikido for over 50 years, imagination. It doesn't appeal to my imagination. I'm not interested in it. That could be anything. High school was really bad. I was pretty much a straight A student because when I was in high school, if I got good grades, my parents didn't bug me. Let me do anything, so it was freedom. But going to high school was awful. Okay. So, imagination, okay. Find your states. Okay. And there's an area where basically you're watching this is Disney Plus, it's the old Zorro series. Only 2 seasons because there was a disagreement between Disney and ABC. So it was a successful show. And Don Diego and Zorro are the same person. And they're basically, if you know Don Diego, Zorro, and Zorro is Don Diego. So yeah. But when he puts the mask on, there's kind of a shift there. Don Diego is, the poet, guitar player, one who goes around, and he's concerned and everything. But it's his mask on, waits for nightfall, he's Zorro. And so there's an area right there. There's more than just learning. Okay. Now, I'd like to do recap. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Step back with right foot. 20. Okay, so those are 10 basic moves. Okay, we've highlighted mainly the middle set of 20. Okay, now obviously you go here. This is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay. Now, the last set, okay, is to prepare you a little bit more for what I might call, this is O-sensei's term, and I use it, not at his level. The takemusu. Okay, so for example, you go through and you learn them. This is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, now, my attempt with that one, okay, is, for example, you learn them the attention to detail. But there's a little bit, like, for example, okay. And that's the beginnings of what I call, you're going from the level of form, and there's an attention to detail. But what some people never catch, your focus is broad, it's overview. And within that overview, you can handle the details without losing the overview. Okay? And there's an expression, called Sadu Demoki Kata Chiru, which is Japanese for even monkeys fall from trees. And sometimes I'm watching the Warriors, and Stephen Curry makes really stupid passes, sometimes at very critical times. So you make mistakes. And what happens is sometimes within the game flow, he may just be in an awkward place with the game, with the defenders. And so he makes a pass that he shouldn't make. Okay, I can live with it. Okay. Now, for my own personal development, I do the same thing. So part of, it's not just the movements are better, but we want to be better. Okay. So for example, we start with number 20. This is 21. 22 is a fifth hand change. 23 is a big move. 24 is a simple step back. 25 is the first what I call the fire water changes with a step back. 26 is the turn. 27 is a fire water change, but it's done like a helicopter instead of a wall clock. 28 is just like 16, except we add a sweep before we do the step turn pivot. 29, go back to second change. Right hand grips, thumb space away. That's technically first change. Go back, second change, step back. So that's all there, okay? You learn it you learn the details, okay? Initially, you get information. When you start to, it becomes knowledge, you have a form, okay? So, you learn the details. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Okay? Now, nightfall. Okay? There's a great scene in Shang-Chi. Okay? If you haven't seen it, it's really one of the best of the Disney Marvel movies. But he goes to the mythical city where his mother is from. And he meets his mother's sister, which is Michelle Yeoh. It's really cool. And Michelle Yeoh, being the sister of his mom actually beat his father, who had these mystical rings, gave him superpowers, basically. And so he asked, well, how did my mom beat my dad? Because he has those magic rings, right? And so they have a little bit of a sparring match. And Shang-Chi, of course, is really good. But he kind of gets one in on Michelle Yeoh. And then Michelle Yeoh, she kind of goes and does something like, and all of a sudden, they're kind of training outside in this grove, and the wind comes up and starts to swirl the leaves. It's almost like what's happening, she's activating other forces through her movement. It's very Aikido, okay? And somehow what we're saying, is nightfall. It's kind of like those winds coming up. Okay, so when you're here, okay, and that starts to activate. See, also they talked a lot about what we call kami energies. Well, kami technically is spirit, but it can also, the names of the kami become gods and goddesses. So all of a sudden, there's Shang-Chi. Hey kids, you're pretty good. I'm going to show you the magic that your mom had to beat your dad. And wow. And that's kind of where you go, okay, nightfall. Nightfall. Your breathing changes. The chatter in your head either goes away or is transformed into more of a mythical level. But since they had his personas, like, he would refer to himself as a Ueshiba of Aikido. And then, sometimes he might refer to himself as the mythical Dragon King, mythological character. And that's kind of like nightfall. Which is more than just waving your arms and bending your knees. Now what I'm doing, for example, is a version of the fire-water change. And now from here, boom, boom. Now back to the second. The first hand change, that's a sweep, a cut, a thrust. I can go the other way. Boom. Now, what I can do right here, I'm going to change over to that motion. Okay? Now, that becomes the third position. Go to the second position. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Okay? Now, what I'm doing, okay, mythological recap. I mean, you can learn. I'm somewhat reluctant to say, okay, now practice this and practice that. Because what happens is you turn it into a form. Now, form is important. I have information. Okay, when I'm starting to acquire the structure for the information, I create a form. Okay, good. But the form is knowledge, and it's reproducible. You can do this, you can do this, you can go like this, okay? But knowledge doesn't teach you how to think. And without the ability to think, you can't create. So one of the things, for example, we go, this is the number 13 to 14, but all of a sudden you can turn, what did I just do? Turn swept, boom, 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 boom. All of that is from a third change. Now, the third change actually, for me, now what I'm doing, what am I doing? Well, I'm learning these moves. Okay, it starts out that way. But it's up to you to experiment a bit. Yeah, you're gonna find different levels of form. But for me, the whole thing happens with nightfall. With Michelle Yeoh saying, you got me, kid. Now I'm going to show you what your mom could do. Because she and I are connected. Nightfall. I love that image because all of a sudden they're in this grove. And she kind of starts to do something where she goes like and the wind starts to swirl the leaves. And the way the leaves move is similar to the way that her movements are. That's almost like she's syncing up to these energies. Now, from here, boom, 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 nightfall. Now, you can nightfall. Even in the world of form, you can tell somebody who. Okay. Yeah. So, see, one of the things that appealed to me about Aikido, mainly about West Shiba, the founder, was he kind of understood that. There's a place where imagination and reality kind of merge. And you know, so that scene, if you haven't seen that Shang-Chi scene, watch the movies, it's really good. But that scene with Simu Liu and Michelle Yeoh, when he first goes to the Magic City, is really good. And then a lot of the latter part of the film is done when Shang-Chi and his sister are riding the Dragon Protector. It's a really cool film. It's kind of too bad it came out during the pandemic, so I don't think it's ever gotten the notice it should have gotten, but it's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite Marvel movie. Anything before we go? No?
This was very helpful. Thank you, Sensei.
Yeah, yeah. In other words, you know, a lot of times, you know, you're going to settle, I'm going to meditate, but I'm a little too nightfall. And imagery starts, like the leaves start to kind of swirl around. Those are energies. The winds are the kami. That's my own explanation of it. It's almost like when people attack those sensei, he was kind of segueing into this different universe. The universe of ki, energy movement, ki kind of within itself compartmentalizing function, 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 kami. And you know, he had his code names for himself. They were West Shiba of Aikido in the dojo, but larger, the Dragon King. Balancing the universal energies between the purple clouds of heaven and earthly reality. You know, you have the 9 impurities or demons. And there's the Dragon King going heaven to earth, earth to heaven, setting those energies into alignment, creating the harmony of the universe. But it starts not just with the knowledge here, nightfall. Okay, anyway, I don't know if that helps or not, or throws you off, I don't know. But overview, attention to detail off of that overview. That's what we're aiming for in a little more mundane terms. Your mind, your body, they kind of sync up. Their connection forms a finer level of you. And as you get finer, there's something called spirit that increasingly comes out of it. So that's maybe a little bit more. I'd like the fancier stuff, obviously. Okay. Anything else before we go?
No, thank you, Sensei. That's very useful. Thanks.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like the
anyway,
nightfall.
yeah. Yeah, night. Well, you know, that whole thing there, because I've always I've kind of liked, you know, well, Batman, but also Zorro. I mean, if you the old Guy Williams stuff is really good. You know, I mean, it's you know, I mean, it's kind of nice when you know that good is going to win in the end, and it's very different than the outer world right now. Okay. There's also, if you have Amazon Prime, there's a modern Zorro, which is also quite good. In fact, I saw the modern one, then I went back and hunted down the original TV series off of Disney, which is, you know, it's dated, but it's quite good still. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. And remember,
Thank you,
this
Sensei.
Sunday with CAA, so you're encouraged to either go to Redwood City, Aikido West for CAA. I sent out the information, which I should have. It kind of broadsided me, oh my gosh, this weekend CAA. But there'll be no Mountain View class on Sunday, okay? After that Sunday, we're back to our regular schedule. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Sensei.
Okay, you take care.
You too.
Recordings.